Welcome, listeners and viewers far and wide from Brisbane to Brooklyn. I'm Eirik Gislason, an associate broker and team leader of the Excelsior team at Brown Harris Stevens, master certified negotiation expert and instructor, founder of Archway Partners Coaching, and the host of Shear Line Negotiation Mastery. But what if becoming a better negotiator was possible by simply reconnecting with the version of yourself who used to ask why about 100 times a day? Now, I don't want to discourage my audience from developing their collaborative negotiation skills, but it turns out that there's something worth examining here. In fact, many studies have found that children as young as 2 years old display surprisingly sophisticated negotiation behavior during play. Now, they don't just demand, scream, throw food, or lob insults at one another, although that happens sometimes as well. They take turns. They solve problems, test limits, and even show early signs of empathy, collaboration, compassion, and perspective. In short, they're doing all of the kind of negotiating things that many adults struggle to do well, with clarity and curiosity. But somewhere along the line, many of us start to filter out the asks, suppress our questions, and avoid the risk of hearing no. We become more polished, yes, but also more passive, more professional, perhaps, but also less playful, less persistent, and less tuned into the creative possibilities of the other side of the disagreement. So today on Shear Line, we're exploring this question. What if our younger selves could teach us something about negotiation? And today, I'm thrilled because Jay Billiet is back for the second straight show. Welcome back, Jay.
Thank you very much.
We have a different format here, a bigger table, larger table, for a reason, because are you excited as I am?
I am.
This is going to be an amazing show. You know, they say in show business, never work with, children or animals? I think that's the saying. Well, we've got both here today. So, yes.
How do you not work with animals if you are one?
Well, this one right here, this is my younger daughter, Sydney, who told me that the easiest way for us to conduct this podcast would be for me to get into a time machine and talk to my 11-year-old self from many, many years ago. But we have a much more efficient way of getting to our answer for today's podcast. What can we learn about negotiating from children? So I'm thrilled to introduce two of my absolutely favorite people in the world and our most elusive guests to date. We've been trying to get them on the show for months, but they've been incredibly busy with their schedules, which made it tough.
Incredibly busy, you know. Summer, it's so busy. My schedule is just packed.
Yeah, I could tell by all of the nailed it TV shows that you watch throughout the day. Well, let's see. Okay, finally. So finally they're here, my daughters, Cici and Sydney. Or should I say they're back, because this isn't their first time performing at the BHS headquarters. Jay, you may not know this, but Sydney and Cici had an impromptu band jam with another BHS podcaster, chief economist, and fellow podcaster Greg Heim, who was on guitar, and they were amazing. So welcome back to BHS headquarters.
Yay.
And both of them are incredible students, readers, avid readers, actresses, singers, artists, Canva creators, animal lovers, but make no mistake, they're very much their own individuals. Sydney, who's 9, about to turn double digits in a couple of weeks, or in less than 2 weeks, is a huge Swiftie, loves a lot of different music. She's great at solitaire. She produced her school's very first yearbook as a 4th grader. Loves to craft and cook, especially her pancakes made from scratch are to die for. And she lights up the room with her sarcastic sense of humor, which I'm sure we will see today. Cici is a 7th grader. She is an honorable mention winner at her school's science fair this year, a burgeoning star of the stage on both school performances and community theater, an instant pro at gin rummy, inventor of games, and an amazing big sister.
You flatter me. I'll give you your money after the recording's over.
Thank you. I'll take it. And one other thing about Cici, Shear Line is not her first podcast. At the ripe old age of 8, Cici was a co-star of an episode of an award-winning podcast called Story Seeds, on which she co-created a book with a great children's author named Aram Kim about a superhero cat named Electric Kitty. So she has more podcast experience than all of us. The only person we're missing here is my wife, Andrea, the mom, Andrea, to make the family podcast complete. But we're sorry that she can't be here, but we'll have a full family podcast in the future, and you'll then see where my kids get their intelligence and brilliance and good looks and sense of humor.
He said that he'd pay me $20 to be on this show.
Now it's going to be 10. All right, so let's get into some questions and see what you know about negotiation or some of the terms about negotiation. What do you think? You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready?
Great.
Okay. I'm going to start, right? Okay. We would like to know why do you two think that children are such good negotiators?
Go for it.
Go for it, yeah.
Because we're endearing, and like young children especially, they have like large eyes, small faces, which actually does trigger dopamine releases in humans. So it's sort of like biological, like chemically induced endearment, which makes you want to let your kids survive,
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So there's a natural component to this. Our bodies are built so that we actually have influence over the adults in our lives.
I was going to say the same thing, but I was just going to say that we're really cute.
Same exact same
Yeah,
thing.
well, that's true,
It is
too.
the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's true. You are really cute. That's amazing. So from just an influence perspective of being cute, and one from actually it's subconscious because of the big eyes, and that's amazing.
Like small faces. It's also, you also see it in like puppies and kittens. It's the same.
Ah,
That's true.
that's amazing.
That's true. Do you think some of that is because children know how to make a face that gets what they want? Do you think children actually know that about themselves? Do they know that I'm cute, I could probably get this?
I feel like it comes from a lot of trial and error, and they see that it works in the beginning, and then they're like without them doing anything, and then they keep like jacking it up to get more and more
That's fair.
as their demands get more complex.
Interestingly, Cici, we'll talk about that because one of the things that we find, one of the reasons that kids are such great negotiators is, first of all, they're not too worried about the outcomes. So they're willing to try things to see what the outcome is, to see what the answer is. And they don't get so tied up in what happens if they get a no, or if somebody, if the worst case scenario plays out, all these things that adults starts to get really, really worried about. And as a kid, you start to be able to develop patterns by asking curious questions. That's great.
I mean, about the worst case scenario thing, I guess it like kids have less to lose, when they're asking these questions, they're still getting most of what they want, but like, because they're being provided for, but then when you're adult, you gotta figure it out yourself.
Wow.
Makes me glad I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
And you haven't kicked me out yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
We'll see how the podcast goes.
If you give me that money at the end of the podcast, you can stay another week. But you're absolutely right, C. So that's really, really fascinating, that idea that there's less to lose. So what worst case scenario might be is not that bad. And the reality is, as an adult, the worst case scenario is far less likely than we think it is. We just make up in our brains sometimes what we think is possible that might happen, this big, bad, scary thing. And so then we don't ask the question.
Because it's like a protection instinct left over from when humans were like living in bands and everything, focusing more on the bad that could happen than the good, because the bad was more important for survival.
Wow. Kiddo.
If I eat this flower, nothing will happen is less important than if I eat this flower, I may go into convulsions and will never be the same again.
That's right. That's right. You probably don't want to take the chance of eating the flower, right? Yeah. And that's our primal brain, kind of, that's where influence comes from, that fight or flight, right? So whether we are fearful of something, or our body protects us from doing something that might get us into trouble. Yeah. So that's why we're very risk avoidant, or there's the fear of loss, because it's very natural to us as our primal brain.
Yes.
Anything to add, Sid? Huh? All right, Sid, this one's for you. What does collaboration mean to you?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work. That's right. That's
Or
right.
the collective
Good.
dreams work because
Have it-
people have different like goals and outlooks when they're collaborating.
So how do you incorporate that if people have different outlooks and different goals?
Well, even if they have different goals, they're going on the same. They figured out that working together will get them this goal, like on the same track faster, and they can get other people to do part of the work for them. So it all works out in the end.
Great. Awesome. You're out of school now, and you mentioned you're hard at work with your summer vacation. But so a lot of your negotiating right now is with me and with Mom and with each other. But when you're in school, how often do you think you negotiate every day? You want to start, Cease?
Yeah, why am I raising my hand?
No, you can raise your hand. That's very polite of you. Thank you.
Probably at least twice a day because my school has like open campus
Okay.
lunch, so we're allowed to go away for lunch and then we just have to come back before classes start again. So like I have to discuss like with my friend, are we gonna eat are we gonna find an empty classroom? Are we gonna eat in the halls and risk getting kicked out? Which is annoying because we're not even leaving a mess. And like, what bugs? There are no bugs at Hunter. I don't see any bugs. Or if we want to go outside, but then the courtyard got shut off, so we can't go there anymore.
So you have decisions to make about where
Yeah.
to eat lunch, and then you have to collaborate with your friends to figure out who wants to eat where and how you're going to figure that out?
Yes.
Go ahead,
Usually we
Sid.
just end up eating in the
So
same hallway.
at school, we had like some of the boys in my class figured out how to make eraser dust balls out of erasers.
Eraser
Like,
dust balls? Did I hear that
yes.
correctly? Okay.
Like you use the eraser shavings of a particular eraser, and then they stick together. You can make ones like this big, and we had to negotiate the prices usually for
okay.
them.
We were selling these.
Mostly me, because I helped sell them.
Okay.
I helped advertise, but then
Back in my day, we made our own eraser dust balls, and we made them to last with Post-it glue.
sure.
Yeah, I tried for like months to make one. I couldn't get it. I don't know.
So how much do you sell these eraser dust balls for?
Okay, so it depends. If it's like this big, probably this big, it's like $1. This big, it's like $5, and this big, it's like 10.
Who's buying these things?
Classmates.
And
Wow.
where is that money
no
going?
wonder, Yeah, no wonder you have all this
Us.
money laying around.
Well, they pay their employees.
Oh,
They got
really?
25 cents a month.
A month?
Yes.
I got to take a look at
How
this
did
plan.
you make how many erasers did you
No,
use up to make?
Because there are a lot of other companies like EDB and
Imaginative.
You got a whole like there's just a
EDG.
there's a whole
company?
cottage
Yeah.
industry here.
yeah, and we started and we were rivals, so they wouldn't buy any of our eraser dust balls, and we wouldn't buy any of theirs. So it was kind of hard to sell these things.
Yeah, well, you're getting
So we didn't
all
make
you're
a lot
you're
of
getting into
money.
the whole concept of competition, which is good at your age. I think I'm not sure. Yes.
There really wasn't any competitions. The other companies went broke, and then their company was called what was it,
Lunar
Lunar Moon, and then they all disbanded because they got bored because there was no more competition.
Well,
Yeah. We only liked the part where that we had rivals.
that's amazing.
And
You're so I'm gonna actually move on to another question if you don't mind. Jay, do you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, real quick.
Yeah, so we're going to ask you, we already asked you about negotiation. Wait, so we want to know, what does compromise mean to you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Wait, didn't I say I was going to stop raising my hand? Oh, well.
It's okay.
It means both people giving up something to share, giving up something to get to a shared goal that both of them will tolerate and hopefully enjoy.
Oh, great. I love that definition. So there's got to be some
I
compromise. You
agree.
still have to get a minimum goal.
Yes, meet someone halfway.
Sometimes it's meeting them halfway.
Or maybe
agree.
a fourth, 1/4, 3/4, or
Could be a
3/7.
range of possibilities,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Sid?
What's the question again?
What
What
is
does
compromise?
Oh, yeah.
Really oblivious.
So I have a story about me and my friends sort of compromising.
Okay.
So we couldn't decide on a movie. So at a sleepover.
Okay.
So everybody was just kind of like not doing anything.
Okay.
We're just like pacing
Oh, you had
around
it like so
everywhere.
you couldn't come to an agreement, so you're
Yeah.
at a stalemate.
Yes.
Okay.
So then I knew that all my friends. So I suggested that we all lay on the couch moaning and groaning until one of us had an idea of
Okay.
a movie to watch. So everybody was like, yeah.
Uh-huh. And then what?
Then nobody ever named a movie. So we just sat there until it was time for bed.
Was that a satisfactory outcome for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Like in silence.
Well, so you all just sat in silence until moaning and groaning. Well, I guess
We
it
were
wasn't
like,
all silence.
Mostly because we were like losing blood in our heads because we were like hanging upside down from the couch.
Maybe
people were
you were
here?
playing your own movie inside your head with that loss of blood. Who knows? Hallucinations, maybe?
I was just thinking of like cats and top hats and bow ties.
On that note, speaking of cats, I think it's time for our first break.
I'm Brian Scott Cohen, one of the top loan originators in the country, and the #1 mortgage originator at Guaranteed Rate Infinity. Guaranteed Rate Infinity arguably has the most advanced tech in the industry. Our completely digital loan process makes it easy and efficient for homeowners, from a 15-minute pre-approval to the digital application and through closing. My team and I would love to help you get into the home of your dreams.
What do you really need to know about buying or selling a home? First, it's serious business. And it's complicated. There's a lot of money on the table, and emotion too. You need an agent who knows the ropes. So, whether you're buying or selling your home, work with professionals who have a mastery of the craft.
All right, we are back. Now, continuing on to the questions, one of the things that the studies around children as great negotiators, one of the things that study found is that kids are naturally good negotiators because they get curious and they stay curious. So what does it mean? Sydney, let's start with you. What does it mean to be curious, and why is it so important for us to stay curious?
Okay, so what curious means is say, I was climbing a tree, right? Then I saw a very interesting leaf.
Okay.
And I didn't know if it was poison ivy or not. So I get very curious about it.
Ah, okay. So you're curious.
then-
So did you touch it?
Maybe.
All right.
This
Well,
isn't a
did you get
real
poison
story.
ivy?
sometimes sometimes our curiosity gets us to do something that we wouldn't otherwise do. And that is why being curious, asking questions and being curious can oftentimes lead to more information. So when you're talking about touching poison ivy, getting curious
Well,
might
it
lead to
not
more
have
information.
been poison ivy, though.
And it may not have been poison ivy, but if you touch and it was, you're going to get more information. That is that was poison ivy on that leaf, right? Or it might not be poison ivy, and now every time that you see that leaf, you now know that that's not poison ivy, even though it might look like poison ivy. So that is true. You gather more information by being curious. Cici, do you have anything to add to that?
Curiosity very much ties in to ties into negotiation in a way, because once you know that information, you retain that information, you can sometimes barter with that information, and you can find out more about who you're negotiating with, what their motives are. And in a child, this probably isn't going on consciously, but they will adjust their approach based on generally who they're talking to. If it's another kid, they're going to come on very strong and friendly. If it's an adult, they're going to appeal with cuteness, if it's like an older sibling or cousin or whatever, they're probably going to sort of come on similarly to somebody who's their age, but try to like sort of tone down the energy or tone up the energy and try and annoy them till they give in.
Well,
Gets results.
but you know what? You're right in that sense that the more curious you are, again, you're just gathering information, and you're right. As kids, it's very subconscious sometimes that you don't really realize that you're doing it for a purpose. But as you learn more and gather more information, you start to tailor your message. You start to ask for different things. You start to realize what's possible because you keep asking questions. And as adults, we stop asking questions, or we ask less questions. And what we know as negotiators is the more questions we ask, the more information we get, the stronger we are in that negotiation. So that's really, really insightful.
Do the two of you ever do you ever feel like you ask too many questions? As young people, do you ever feel like you ask too many questions?
No, other people might, but I don't care.
No, that was going to be, and why is that? Why don't you care?
Because everything is for a purpose. If they don't like it, then they can just then if I'm asking questions like to try and like get something and they don't like it, they can just give me that thing and be done with it. If I'm trying to get to an answer, they can look it up or like whatever, or they can just answer my questions, and I don't know, like this is important information to me,
right.
And I know that you know it, so why don't you want me to know it? Is there some sort of plot going on here?
Yeah.
That's great. That's really, really amazing, because you're not so worried about the other person and what they and how they feel about the fact that you're being ceaselessly curious, as we say.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. Exactly. Yeah. As adults, we have a hard time thinking through that deal with it concept. We're a lot of times we're often thinking, am I bothering the other person? Am I being too intrusive?
Am I being annoying?
Too many questions. You're asking too many questions, and they're not even the right ones.
That's right. All right, Jay, you have another one?
Let's see. Have you ever asked a question that made someone stop? So like sort of stop in their tracks and say, that's a good question. I never thought of that. Like to your example, when you say someone has information and I want it, have you ever asked someone something and they had information, but it never occurred to them that you might want it?
Probably, but I don't remember it.
That's
Sid,
fair.
do you have one?
I feel like I remember one time at recess, I was walking with my friend Asha, and I was asking like a lot of questions.
Uh-huh.
And then like I forgot which one I asked. And then one, she was just like, where did that come from, Sydney? I've never heard you say something like that.
Ah.
It was something about like the purpose in life or something like that.
Did she have the answer?
Well, it's true. It's good to ask that question, especially when you're trying to get information from someone and they may not even know what's on your mind. Sometimes people assume you are thinking a certain thing, and by asking the right questions, they're going to learn that you are actually maybe thinking of a different path, thinking of something else. And your friend was absolutely right. And I say that to my friends all the time. I have no idea what they're thinking when things come out of the blue, but I think it happens quite a bit.
Yeah. And another thing that these studies show is that kids are they like to ask a lot of questions, as you talked about, Cici. They ask and they ask again, and they don't accept no as a final answer. So what's something that you really wanted and you had to ask for it more than once to get it? Go ahead, Sid.
A sleepover.
Now, after asking several times, did you get what you wanted?
Yeah.
Aha. So you didn't accept the no right away?
Well, I didn't accept the I'll think about it. We were like, I'll think about it. We were like, please.
What does I'll think about it mean to you? How do you interpret I'll think about it?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most responses that delay a decision are usually like no, but I don't want to say no because you're going to get all upset about
when-
it and I can't deal right now.
When somebody says, I'll think about it, they're usually just like, I'll think about it until the time when you said, when you, like, say I wanted a sleepover. The weekend that we were still in town because we weren't going on vacation. If somebody was like, I'll think about it, they just wait and they think about it until we leave.
Okay, so they delay the decision
Yes.
until the decision doesn't have to be
Yes.
made anymore? Oh, that's interesting.
So let me ask you this. When someone does say no, or when someone says, I think about it, and you have to ask again, what do you do differently? Or do you do something differently? Or is there something you do in the meantime before you ask again? How do you change tactics? Oh, those are 2 hands in the air. That's... Who wants to go first? 3, 4, okay.
Okay. Why don't you go first then? The youngest goes first.
Usually, I'm like, can I have a sleepover? And you're like, I'll think about it. And I was like, can I have a sleepover?
Oh, the puppy eyes.
Puppy dog eyes.
And then does that work?
Sometimes. Or, like, it just really annoys them. And then they're like, all right, fine.
Yeah, well, they call that the child tactic. The child tactic is asking over and over and over again until you just wear the other person down and they just comply, which works, and that's why they call it the child tactic. Go ahead, Cici.
I try to make like a case or something. Like if I wanted a sleepover with my friend, I'd be like, please, can I have a sleepover? It's Friday, so we've got the whole weekend, and also their parents said yes, and it can be at their house.
Yeah.
Or like if I wanted something and like mom said no, and then I'd go ask you. This has happened multiple times. Then you usually say yes. So then I go back to mom and I'm like, please, dad said yes.
Oh my goodness.
You know what you're doing there, which is actually interesting, is you're already seeing in your mind the possible reasons that might be a no, and you are answering those questions already. Well, it's Friday and we don't have anything this weekend. Their mom already said yes. So you're already foreshadowing, you're anticipating any reason that there might possibly be a no, and you're already right at the gate saying, no, I checked.
And
we're all good.
I got an Uber and I've got all my stuff.
Yeah, got it. It's already packed.
I packed a bag.
The Uber's called. It's going to be here in 3 minutes.
And here's $20.
Oh, well.
Now,
would
and the
take
other thing
that.
that you're doing that we don't condone in our family is divide and conquer, which is I'm going to see if I can get one on one side and one on the other, and if I can get one to say yes, then I can make it happen. Then the other one might be more
We
likely
had to
to
make
say
a
yes.
rule about. We had to make a rule about that in first grade. Like if you want to go to the bathroom or the water fountain, and you ask one teacher and they say no, and then you ask another teacher and they say yes, that's illegal.
That's Why? Why is that?
Was that among the students or was it like a teacher sanction?
Students.
So why is that? Why do you think that was a rule?
Because I don't know. Because they didn't want us because they wanted to know where we were.
And they want we as parents and as teachers, I'm sure, we try to be aligned and try to be unified in our decision, right? We try to be one unified group. So if you're asking one and getting a yes, and then getting a no and asking another and getting a yes, then that makes it difficult for that unified group to stay unified, right?
I also just usually ask you primarily because
Same
you're
here.
definitely the more lenient parent.
Yeah, like once I was like,
She just called you a pushover.
Yes, exactly.
once I was like, I want to see who to get the computer from. Okay, so mom's gonna be like, you have to wait 10 minutes for non-screen time and 10 minutes to get back on the screen. And then, if I ask Dad, Dad's like, sure, yeah.
Please don't let anything say here affect your judgment.
Yes.
Yeah, I am now very much
you guys just
thinking about my
you
judgment.
exposed your stance.
Exactly. Now I'm
sometimes Dad
taking it
asks-
all in.
But sometimes
Taking it all
Dad
in.
asks, did you ask Mom yet? And I was like, no.
Oh no.
No, I never don't ask.
Your parents will eventually talk again that day.
Yes, that's right.
Did
That's
you
right.
They are
ask
gonna come
Mom?
together.
Yes. You never asked if she said yes, though.
Well, that brings me actually to our next section, and that is good negotiators don't just ask and ask and ask. They know when to ask and they know who to ask. So
I always ask people when they're working
Ah.
because they just want to get rid of me.
so
Like,
there-
Dad's like on the computer and I'm like, Dad, can I use Mom's computer? And Dad's like, mm-hmm.
You asked Dad to use Mom's computer?
Yes.
That's taking that leniency
You're never gonna
thing
be
to
left
an
alone.
extent.
with the
yes,
girls again.
exactly. So what's the perfect time? Would you ever wait until the perfect moment to ask for something? And how do you know when the perfect moment is? Go ahead, Cici.
I usually like ask, like as sort of like a preliminary ask, and then see what the response is, because I am definitely I always ask for like a reason. Like if I'm refused like a cookie or something, I'm definitely gonna be like, why? I take that. Gonna build on that, and then like if it's like because it's only after lunch and you haven't had like something nutritious, I'm gonna go eat like a yogurt or some carrots, and then say I will have a lunch dessert instead of a dinner dessert, and then there are no good reasons to say no.
So you change your tactics, you
Yeah.
change the kind of the methodology around your ask to see if you can get what you want. Oh, that's very, very interesting. That's Sid. Do you have an answer to that one?
Well, sometimes if I want to have a sleepover, I ask.
You like sleepovers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Something
sleepover
I
is a
know
big
about
thing.
you.
I ask, like, the right time to ask would probably be when I'm with the other person I want to have a sleepover with.
Oh, that's
Because then we get twice the annoyance. So
Like moral support.
Yeah.
like saying like please. Usually when I want a sleepover, when I'm with my friend, we can be like please.
together.
Oh, yeah, look, I
It's
see
also
it.
probably harder for a parent to say no
Yeah.
in front of the guest, right? Because basically you're saying, no, this person, you cannot go to this person's house, and they're right there.
Yeah, now
That's-
you
that's
have
very
your
smart
unified
timing.
front. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very smart timing. Exactly. Bring a friend with you.
So on the opposite of that, when is the worst time to ask?
Probably when they give conditions and you don't comply with any of them. Like returning to the cookie example, like if I'm like, can I have a cookie and like the answer is no, and then like 5 seconds later I ask, can I have a cookie? No. And like in that, because of that, it's not wearing them down, it's just getting them more irritated and less likely to say yes. Because like that tactic for me, it's more irritating. It doesn't wear them down as much. That also might be because like a lot like most of my memories of this are from when I was older and therefore like less endearing, you know?
Your eyes aren't as big anymore.
My eyes are still oddly big. Like I had an eye doctor tell me that my eyes were bigger than average, so
Well, that's
I
that's a
don't
compliment,
know.
I'm
compliment,
sure.
yeah.
And one of the other wrong times to ask them is like when your parent is like, okay, we have a lot of plans this weekend, so we need to have like everyone on deck, and we need everyone in this plan. You're like, can I have a sleepover this weekend?
Or like
yeah.
if it's like Sunday and you're like, can I have a sleepover?
Yeah, and that's interesting because you kind of know what the general rules are around when we think a good time for a sleepover is. So you've come to know that you might do more harm than good by asking for something that doesn't fit within what are our normal rules. So you kind of go, okay, if I stick within the rules, and to your point, Cici, if I use sound logic to say, hey, it's Friday, so Friday's a good day for a sleepover and things like that, now you might get more of what you want because you're sticking inside the rules, which is really smart.
Oh, speaking
Now-
of, can I have
yes.
a cookie?
Well,
if
we'll
we
talk
have them,
about
I would like one too, please.
Me too.
I am going to say, well, maybe over a break, we can see if we can rummage up some cookies. So we're going to take a break and
Holding
we'll
you to
come
that.
back with our lightning round.
Ultimate Diamond is New York City's most established family-owned jeweler. With over 65 years of experience, Ultimate is renowned for its exceptional, custom-crafted diamond jewelry, its bespoke engagement ring designs, and its ability to source rare, distinguished timepieces. Ultimate has built a legacy of timeless craftsmanship and discretion, making it a trusted name among those who value refined luxury. Learn more at ultimatediamond.com.
When we first started Excel Real Property Management 11 years ago, we did so with the intention of protecting the investment community. Here at Excel Real Property Management, we focus specifically on serving the needs of individual apartments, townhouse, and small multifamily building owners both in Manhattan and select neighborhoods of Brooklyn. Our services encompass everything: rent collection, expense payment, handling maintenance and repair, turnover between tenants, insurance needs. Literally anything that an investor would typically handle him or herself, we take care of for them. Whether you hold one individual apartment or a rental building that houses 20 units, Excel is here to help with all of your specific needs.
All right, and welcome back. It is now time for the lightning round. So let's cue the music. Good. All right. Very good. Family lightning round. Now, go ahead, Jay.
Okay.
You start off with the lightning round.
To start it off, for each of you, what do you think your negotiation superpower is for you individually?
For me, I'm good at like getting logic and like getting a logical case put together and making subjective value like sound like objective value and sounding very smart and official with things that I may or may not have made up. He believes it.
You're in trouble.
Well, we used to call Cici had a nickname. Well, we still call her Loophole.
Yeah.
And it worked. I was great at it.
She's going to be a
My
lawyer.
nickname is Chuckles the monkey.
What's that?
My name is Chuckles. My nickname is Chuckles the monkey.
Yeah, you're Chuckles the
Well,
monkey.
that one time at the airport. But then my friends call me Sydney Gislason.
That's a
was just
good
one
name.
time Leah mispronounced my last name, and then it just caught on.
Are we getting a little off track here?
Well, you know what? Hey, that's the lightning round. Lightning round is just quick responses to get your perspective on certain things. So
And
it's
also,
okay.
distraction is a negotiation
Yeah,
tactic
that's
sometimes.
true. That is true. All right, so let's go to the second question. Cici, if every food is either a soup, a salad, or a sandwich, which you have claimed, where does cereal fit in?
So a lot of people say that cereal is a soup.
Okay,
It is not a soup. It is not a soup.
What is it?
People, what the heck? There is no cereal is not a liquid. How the heck would it be a soup? You're talking
But
about
there's
the milk.
milk in it.
This is not. Okay, I know this is water. Pretend this is milk. This is milk.
Uh-huh.
This is not cereal. Cereal is like it's like okay. I'm not sure exactly what it's made of. It's like some sort of wheat thing.
Okay.
It's a wheat
Sometimes.
thing that is it's like it's a bunch of pieces put together onto like a bowl, like a dish, and eaten with a utensil. You do that also with a salad. And you also do that with a soup. But with a cereal, you can eat it dry because it is a solid food. And soups are not solid foods.
Oh,
Cereal, I
wow.
mean, if you were, okay, so I don't know if like stew fits under the category of soup, but cereal with milk is a stew. But cereal in and of itself, innately, which is what we are talking about, is a salad.
Wow.
Can I get like a prop Cheerio box in here to like really illustrate my point?
No.
Well, we all know I'm one to advocate for salads.
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah,
it.
we
I
all
have
know.
a history. Everyone
Yes.
has seen it.
We know
But my
it, yeah.
question for you now is the milk that's left in the bowl after the cereal is out, which is now a flavored milk soup.
Yes.
I've never seen. I've like only ever seen milk get flavored by cereal like one time, and even then it was mostly just a color change. It still tasted like milk.
So not a soup.
So milk is a soup.
It might be because we don't have a lot of sugary
I have a
cereals.
question.
Oh.
No, but I've also
I have a
seen it like
question.
dyed with like chocolate.
I have a
cereal.
question.
Yes, Sid?
Will we get sued if we say brand?
Oh wait, I already said Cheerios. Sorry guys.
Oh, that's okay.
No.
I was about to say Fruit Loops.
Well, now we're going to get sued. Thanks.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
we don't have to pay it, so I don't care.
That's true.
Good point.
That's
All right,
true.
Sid, this one's for you. Oh, go ahead. Jay,
No.
got it.
You asked this
Okay.
one. Yep.
For you, corn muffins, breakfast, or with Dad's homemade chili?
Chili.
Good.
It's a
Good.
hors d'oeuvre.
For breakfast, I don't know why, but they don't have the same consistency. They feel like more like bread than a muffin. Blueberry muffins are for breakfast. Chocolate muffins are for lunch. I mean brunch, sorry.
Brunch is a scam. It's for people who wake up late and they miss breakfast, and then lunch is in like an hour, so they can't eat breakfast, and then eat lunch in like the same.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
space of time,
because
so they just
people-
gotta eat it all
People
together.
want their
Brunch
breakfast.
is just like late breakfast.
breakfast
true.
is basically breakfast is the most tastiest meal
Ah,
because like you can have sugar,
wow.
That's true.
like
And-
sugary cereal.
And you do have corn muffins for breakfast, I will say, from here and there. All right,
well,
so
yeah,
now,
but that's because that's the only muffins we had. But if we had blueberry
I have them
muffins
as an early
and
morning
corn
snack.
and
That's not
corn
breakfast.
muffins, I would have them. If we had blueberry muffins and corn muffins, I would have the blueberry muffins for breakfast and the corn muffins for dinner.
I would do the same.
well said.
I think coffee cake is like for coffee cake muffins are for.
Brunch. They're for brunch.
All right, let me
We
move
have
on.
to acknowledge brunch as
Let me move on
Okay.
for brunch because we know that brunch
Okay.
is a scam, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm going to ask them this next question. Also, for the two of you individually, if you could start your own podcast, what would it be about, and what would you call it? Something about sleepovers.
Okay, I'll say what she said during rehearsal. She said it would be about candy, and it would be called Candy. It's good.
Yeah.
That is,
for
I
me-
think that's a winning idea.
I would
My
be a guest.
podcast would probably be about like creating characters and like worlds and stuff, because I really like world building stuff whenever I play like games, like RPGs or whatever. Yeah.
So
What would you call it?
Yeah, what would you call it?
What would I call? Oh, the podcast. I'll come back to you on
Okay,
that.
that's fine. No pressure.
I have no working title.
I'd do like a baking podcast.
I mean,
Ooh,
actually,
okay.
I could call it working title, because if it's like creating a world and a story.
Oh,
Okay.
That's actually a good
working
one.
title. That is good. I
I like
that.
it. You should keep
All right,
that.
so let's go on with that theme. You both read a lot. If you could trade places with any character from a book for one day, who would you be and what would you do?
So I really like sci-fi, right? Which is
yeah.
because in keeping with the world building thing, when you got sci-fi, you got a lot of stuff. I also like fantasy, but I prefer sci-fi. I don't really want to be any of the characters in that, because they've got a lot of problems.
Mine,
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be a good book.
I would probably be
um,
like. Oh, sorry.
So,
Go ahead. Yeah, finish up, Cease.
probably if I had to be any of the characters in one of my books, I'd probably choose somebody from like this old book of fairy tales that I have, somebody who's just like this side character that nothing bad ever happens to, but they just get to see all of this stuff unfold.
Oh, so they're like a fly on the wall kind
Maybe
of?
maybe
character?
one of the fates, the
Ah.
Greek myths. Yeah.
Okay.
They're fun.
So-
They're fun, guys.
There's this book called Indian in the Cupboard, which was on my summer reading list. It's about this boy who makes like who gets like a cupboard for his birthday, and there's this like mysterious key, and it turns his plastic action figures alive.
Ooh.
So I would want to be Omri, the person who owns the cupboard, the human, so he gets to play with like alive action figures.
Ah, it's kind of like Toy Story come to life.
Yes. Except for like the humans know
The
that
humans
the toys
know the
are
toy.
alive.
Yeah. I like how you said that.
I've read that book. That's a good one. I would do that too.
All right, let's go with one last question.
Okay, one
Go
last
ahead.
question. You both know your father is a master negotiator. I know. I was shocked too. But this is a question for both of you. What else do you think your dad is really good at?
I'm gonna say what
One
Cici
hand.
said.
Only one hand for that
I'm
one.
gonna say what Cici said in rehearsal.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hiding his bald spot. Hey, Dad, you want to
Retract the question. Take it back.
demonstrate?
No, I don't.
Just get up to the camera and show you. But we have a game.
That's your game. You made it up.
We
You
try
play.
to find.
I have
we
nothing
try
to
to
do with this.
find Dad's bald
I'm not affiliated with
And
her.
what's the game called?
Where's Baldo?
Where's Baldo?
Don't say we. Don't say we.
That's true.
Wow.
Came up with a name.
Wow.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. Okay.
Yeah. And
All
after
right.
that,
Well,
this is
on
not
that
a good
note-
time to ask for something.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of a good time to ask.
I think
now is not a good
you
time.
next time you come to ask for a computer or a sleepover or a cookie or anything like that, I have to reconsider.
speaking of.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Can I
Did
have
you
a
want-
cookie?
But what if we got cookies?
Well,
I'm just
Cici and
spitballing
Sydney, thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure to have you on the podcast. It honestly has been
know.
something I've
We're so
wanted for
good
a
at
long,
this.
long time. You will have your own podcast one day. I'm quite certain of it.
Candy. It's good.
Candy, it's good. So from here, we're going to wrap up. And Jay, why don't you start us off with the wrap up?
Sure. In summary, we are all natural negotiators. If you think about it, if you made it to adulthood, you negotiated your way there. You negotiated for treats, attention, another book at bedtime, an extra screen time, even for a cookie, and for extra screen time, even in my case, before screen time was a thing. You used your instincts, often without knowing it, to get more of what you wanted, more of what you needed, and to get more out of the people around you.
That's right.
But somewhere along the line, we unlearn those instincts. I think it happens for a number of reasons at many stages of life, but those instincts often get labeled as too bold, too demanding, and too pushy. So we learn to quiet them, and we soften our asks. And we become, as a result of asking less questions, we become less curious, and we become more concerned about rejection. We tune in. We tune in less with when we should ask, and we're less creative with our solutions, and we become more worried about our perceived outcomes that we assume or that we fear. So rather, because we assume the worst, we don't ask, which is something that kids don't do.
Yep. And yet, those very instincts we buried, they're the same ones that top negotiators rely on each and every day. Curiosity, persistence, resilience, timing, audience awareness, and creativity. So maybe the path to reclaiming the good name of negotiation is about remembering who we used to be, someone who was bold, who was clear, and just the right amount of relentless. So as a reminder, everybody, that's the Shear Line for today. So as a reminder, you can support the show by following us, subscribing, rating, and reviewing the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Just go to getmorenetwork.com, and there you can check out all of the amazing shows on the More Network, including past episodes of the Shear Line. You can find me all over Instagram at archway.partners, as well as on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram at Eirik the Expert. And you can connect or contact the Excelsior team at Brown Harris Stevens by going to bhsusa.com. You can also connect with me and my coaching company, Archway Partners Coaching, by visiting archwaypartnersinc.com, where you can find out more information about one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and our brand new Mighty Network community, which is unbelievable. So feel free to DM us or contact us about that. And remember, there is a key for every lock, but it's the right combinations of grooves, cuts, and teeth that lift the pins and create the shear line. Until next time, keep turning curiosity into connection, mystery into mastery, and keep unlocking what's possible. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.